about expectations. We generally have expectations, good or bad, positive or negative, based on previous experiences. We think, well, this has always turned out this way. It's probably going to turn out bad. Even when it comes to baking, I gave up baking cakes because I could never get the proportion of baking soda to baking powder, cupcakes, muffins, things. I would taste that acidic taste or that metallic taste, or things would just go flat. And then I watched a video, cooking video with Jamie Oliver.
Oh yeah.
He was baking, and he introduced me to self-raising flour. Changed my life. Now, when I baking my scones and my pancakes, my waffles, muffins, and my cake, I have a positive expectation that it's going to turn out. It's going to be nice and light and fluffy. I really enjoy, I don't even, knowing that things are going to turn out. And I suspect that having a positive expectation actually helps things to turn out. When we have that particular mindset, it just gets, everything moving along the right way. But how do we get into that positive mindset? Is it possible to train ourselves generally to feel more positive? And I've 3 things that work for me. I like to focus on the positive aspects of something. Focus on the positive aspects of a situation. Okay, for example, coming here this afternoon, it's snowy and cold, and would I be all right in the cold? Would anyone else turn up? Those sorts of questions. And the positive aspect of it is that it's always great to be out here in the fresh air. It's always great to be, there's the ocean right there, and trees, and there's crows. It doesn't matter whether it's cold or not. My fingers might be getting a little cold, but it always feels good. It always feels good to meet my friends, Cynthia and Johanna here, and we have little conversations, and so I can always have a positive expectation about this. And even though it's a little cold, it's still going to be really good. So there's all these positive aspects about the situation that guarantee that it is going to be good. Now, other times, there might be other situations where maybe things aren't so great. I'm a little concerned about something, maybe communications. Within a family, this sort of thing happens sometimes, where wires get crossed and, you think you're supposed to meet somebody. I wanted to meet my granddaughter. I'd made plans, and then I get a phone call saying, after I find my phone, and she's phoned, Nana, where are you? And she didn't realize that I was actually the wrong day. She was going to meet the next day. And then, of course, I couldn't get a hold of her. And I'm thinking, oh, boy. These sorts of things, thinking all sorts of scenarios. People upset and waiting and all kinds of things. And then, generally, we always sort things out. Generally, we get along pretty well. Generally, we've had some really good times. And I kind of ease myself into, feeling like, okay, this will be, this is all right. This is something we can maybe laugh about in the future. And then there's times where you're just hit with something that just really does knock you back. You go, oh, this is just bad news. We've all had things like that. And I'm not going to go into detail here because I don't want to think about that specifically, but what helps is Just stop and breathe. And I find that this, just stopping and breathing, will just release that initial sort of shock of something, and then shortly, maybe I'll have a little nap. That usually helps. Or, just get on with some normal day activities that will help to take my mind off things. And find myself back in that equilibrium. So there are these techniques and these practices that are so effective for building this positive expectation, just like a self-raising flower.
Yeah. Very